There we go. Do you want to do like intros? Ah, wait. I forgot.
I will
I'm
never.
so sorry. Hang on.
That was gold.
I'm sorry. No.
It was
Okay.
one take.
One taken out.
Mhm.
Okay. I forgot. Usually for when I'm doing OBS, I mute the desktop audio, so I had it muted. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's unmuted now. Now go. Take two.
Um, um, uh, for all of you who just missed it, I did something wonderful, but now you're getting something horrible. My name is Dingo, 49. I'm doing digital art. I'm doing a draw over right now to get the overall look of the AI reference that I generated, and then I'm going to take the reference away, and I'm going to work on nothing but lighting and detail.
All right. I go by Mango. I'm drawing a commission for a friend right now. And I'm just working on rendering feathers, which is gonna take forever. Probably this entire thing. I'll just be working on wings or jump around to other areas. But hello, happy to be here.
Hello. I'm Ryder, recently renamed to Damien Ryder. I'm a furry and fantasy artist, and today I'm going to be. It is the first day of the spooky month, so I'm going to be doing a sort of Halloweeny themed something. Not quite sure what it's going to be yet, but that's the joy of art. Or at least that's the joy of how I do art. I don't ever know what I'm going to draw.
Damien's a cool name.
Thank you. It was Lee. I've been going by Lee since I came out as trans. Since 2017, I think 16 maybe. But I just like a few weeks ago, um, it kind of just hit me that I don't really feel that name anymore. If that makes sense. I just didn't like it, so I renamed to Damien.
Must have been an omen.
And then
Sorry.
I don't know if you saw that I typed it out. Stardust, but if you want to type out an intro, I can say it out loud. Stardust's intro is hello. I'm Stardust. I go by Star or Jinx. I'm a 2D artist and I work with digital art. Currently, I'm drawing Sky Children of the Light of Sea named Vex. I like that name. It's a cool name.
Star Children of the Lido Sea. Check that.
Yes.
Is that an anime?
Is that an anime? I believe so.
Oh, okay. Haven't heard of that one.
Oh, it's a game.
Oh, that's even more surprising. Let me double check that. Yeah, that one.
Speaking of October, do any of you guys have Halloween plans?
Yes, I'm dressing up and going out with friends.
Nice.
I think I'll still be taking my smallest. He's 11. Up for too long. I think he's still down for it.
Nice. My plan was to cosplay as James Hawkins from Treasure Planet. But unfortunately, we are moving literally less than a week before Halloween, so we won't have time to like decorate the house or do anything special for it.
Is there
Hmm. I thought you guys are done moving.
No, we're in the process of moving.
Okay.
Fit it in my budget. I plan on cosplaying, making a cosplay outfit for Sky Coddle. Nice.
Very cool.
What is Sky Coddle? Is that any relation to a coatl or an axolotl or something?
No wax a model. Always like that word.
My boyfriend, we were talking about pets the other day, and he was like, "I want an axolotl. They are so derpy, and I want to watch them just float with no thought." And I was like, "You do that, babe. If you can afford an axolotl, you can get an axolotl."
And if you can spell axolotl,
If you if you can spell axolotl without autocorrect, you can get an axolotl. Oh, gotcha. Sky Coddle stands for, or is short for Sky Children of the Night. So, never mind.
I like the idea of a floating axolotl in the sky.
Heck yeah.
Oh, great axolotl.
I made a series of adopts quite a while ago, and one of them was a galaxy axolotl named Milk for the after the Milky Way.
Oh,
That's cute. I love that.
I And now a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. I'm sorry, I had to.
There's Raid Shadow Legends, or NordVPN, or HelloFresh. It's the same ones.
it's always the same. What's the other one? Oh, BetterHelp. That's always the other one.
Yeah, BetterHelp.
Been getting a lot of those lately. It's not even that good because I tried BetterHelp. Not gonna lie, like don't. You can edit this part out if you want to, but
Yeah.
It's staying in. Everything stays in.
How will we get our sponsorship?
like don't get me wrong, I appreciate everything that my therapist could do for me, but the problem with BetterHelp, have any of y'all tried it before?
No.
But I know the CEO's a dick.
Oh, is he? That makes sense.
Just look up what he did.
Yeesh.
Oh gosh.
I definitely will. Um, so I wanted to start therapy for a couple of bad thoughts, and to hopefully get on T-shots and gender affirming care and possibly a an emotional support animal. A bunch of stuff went into finally getting therapy. And my therapist, don't get me wrong, he was great, loved talking to him, but that's all they're allowed to do is talk. They
Mhm.
aren't allowed to diagnose anything, which I mean makes sense because they're therapists, not psychiatrists. But they aren't allowed to actually diagnose anything. They aren't allowed to prescribe meds. They aren't allowed to sign off on an ESA. They aren't allowed to do anything except just talk. And I was
Oh,
not aware of that when I was paying $65 a month to talk to
oh my
someone.
God.
Well, they are multi-state, so like they would need licensure for each state's own take on uh, giving you medicine. But yeah, they're basically the Uber of psychiatrists.
I hate how accurate that is.
I didn't know it was $60 a month. Goodness.
Mom, can we get therapy? No, we have
Yeah.
therapy at home. Therapy at home.
Listen, it's surging right now, so unless you have a real like, mental emergency, we're gonna wait a couple days.
Yeah. My goodness. That's tragic.
Don't you need to be on like Monday morning, Saturday night? Because that's really
Mhm.
Again, though, like I mean no ill will to my therapist. He was great, and he did try. Excuse me. He did try to do certain things for for that stuff, but he was like, unfortunately, I cannot, but I can provide you resources to get that somewhere else. And then when I eventually couldn't afford the therapy, he was like, um, I looked up Texas, which is where I live. Looked up Texas therapists. Here's some that I recommend. He was super nice about everything, and honestly, I hope he gets a better job somewhere else.
Mhm. It's good that you like found a good guy. Unfortunate that he couldn't help you more than he could, but you know.
Yeah.
I wish therapy was good for me. Had it when I was a kid and had a little bit of trauma that was based on the therapists themselves. So I associate therapists with the way some SA victims associate priests. So
Uh,
Gotcha.
I can't be around therapists because they set shit off in my head. I get defensive. Like the moment I see or talk to a therapist, I get like, I close off. It's obvious. It's not the fault of the people I wasn't dealing with before. I mean, the newer therapist. It's the fault of the fact that my mom took me in for group therapy. I think it was like 9 to 15 or so, and the therapist took advantage of her. And my biggest thing is I wanted to protect my mom, and they said stuff to her like, everybody sucks off you like you're a giant tit. I remember that one. But like that kind of stuff. And also like I was in group therapy with like like heroin addicts and stuff. And I was like 10 years old, so I know all about you know addiction.
That sucks though. I'm sorry.
mhm.
Honestly,
Oh, it's
I kind of understand. It was a huge step for me to sign up for therapy. Therapists and doctors and hell, even dentists, like all of that stuff terrifies the hell out of me. And it took like to put it in perspective, I've needed therapy for the past at least 10 years. And I've
yeah.
been telling myself that I need to sign up for therapy for at least 5 of those 10. And I only just signed up. Um, May of this year, and then ended up not being able to afford it, so I only was on the program for like 3 months or so. But that's how long it took me to finally sit down and sign up for therapy. Like it's terrifying. And I also kind of have a not so great view of therapists and psychiatrists.
Yeah.
Because I too, or not too, like I didn't have group therapy, but I did end up, my mom like forced me into therapy when I was younger, and it was anything but a good experience.
Right? Yeah. I was suicidal for a long time. And luckily made past that point. But yeah, therapy did not help with that.
Yeah.
It just gave me another reason. But you, on the other hand, you actually have a need that's different. You have a physical need on top of a mental need.
Yeah.
So that's fortunately you have to keep going back in the water, even though the water's going to be shockingly cold.
That is accurate, yeah. Have you been typing? I'm so sorry if I'm missing your messages. Oh, I don't like this sketch.
One thing I like about the chalk brush is that you're not really drawing with it, you're just overlaying with it.
Heck
Like
yeah.
you're drawing with light more than the actual, like, with pressure. So like everything has to do with how much of the black in the background, like using white, how much of the black in the background that actually makes up the shading for you. You just have to figure how much light to apply.
Mostly use like the gouache brushes that came with Clip Studio.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
gouache is really too.
yeah.
I'm pretty, like, I don't know how else to say it, but vanilla when it comes to
Hmm.
brushes and stuff. I don't use um too much other than the basic pencil. I do use a few of the different pens. I use textured pen for a lot of my lines, or G pen, honestly, either one, depending on how I'm feeling in the moment. And
I
then
love
gouache.
textured liner. I love textured line art. So pretty. Line art as a whole, I don't do it enough, but I love it. So pretty.
Here's an art tip, kids. If you don't want to draw hands, just don't. Hide them.
So like that's just a little bit.
I'm sorry.
If you want to mess with your line width, it's real good for that. So let me make it. I'll make it big. So you can go like even with that big, and then I can make it, like that big. But it's got a little bit of texture on the outside of it, just a little bit, but enough so that you can like do a sketch without it seeming messy, like or granulated, like Say if I went to sketching, if I went with like a 6B or with a Technical pencil, let's go with like a 6B. So 6B, you can see like a lot more granularity in it,
Mm-hmm.
and the Bokuju has a lot less, but just a little bit of scratch in the outline, which gives you your authentic feel, but still allows you for like real smooth lines.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, Ryder, you mostly do a lot of furry art and like anthropomorphic animals. Do you have any like of getting into that? Because I think it's so pretty. I love it. Like Kung Fu Panda is like such a big inspiration,
Heck yeah.
among other things. I love furry art.
Uh, I'm really bad at tips. uh, One thing that uh, it it depends on the style you're going for, because a lot of furries have a typical um like a basic furry style where everything
Mhm.
kind of just looks like a cartoon dog. And absolutely
Yeah.
no hate to those types of furry artists, but because I do really enjoy that kind of furry art, but I try to make mine more a little my excuse me, English. I try to make mine a little more accurate and realistic. Um, with the exception of the chibi that I'm doing now, I kind of just default to the basic furry style for chibis. But my other art, like here's a sketch that I'm doing of one of my characters. Um, like you can, I use if you wanted something more this style, I recommend actively using IRL pictures of animals as reference instead of like the basic, um, like this is a rabbit,
Mhm.
you know?
All right. Yeah, I get that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you want to
That's
make money at furry art?
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
I was asking if you want to make money at furry art, because I know the way to do that is go to conventions and set up a table.
I mean,
I'm
you
not
don't
sure.
necessarily have to. I've never been to a convention in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I want to, don't get me wrong. I want to. I've just never been able to afford it. A lot of artists do make money at conventions with prints and stuff, but it depends on what exactly you want to sell. What is your style? Are you trying to sell custom art or are you trying to sell prints? Are you trying to sell merch? Are you trying to promote your own furry characters? It highly depends on what you want to do. For me personally, I do a lot of custom characters and custom artwork for other people, and that's not really something that I can like make one of and print a bunch and sell at a con because that's someone's personal character. So selling at cons probably wouldn't work too well for me, at least at the moment. But if you wanted to just do like here's a cheetah furry running in a savannah, here you go, here's a print like that yes, definitely go to cons for that. Um, who joined?
What's his name? What's the guy's name? What is his name? His name is Six. Not Six.
Lunch dog?
Oh, hi,
Let me
Lunch.
come back. Yeah.
Hello. Will you be
Okay.
streaming with us?
Hey, I probably won't stream, but I'm just here to say hi and hang out.
Hello.
Hello. By the way, we are recording to upload later, just so you're aware.
Cool.
Okay.
You're gonna be a star.
Wow.
Oh gosh, why?
Gonna get Mama Rose to manage you. I had a dream, Rose.
So, what are y'all up to?
Drawing stuff.
Yeah, doing an art stream.
I'm making a skeleton warrior.
Nice.
I said at the beginning of the recording that I was doing something Halloweeny, but wasn't sure what it is yet. Apparently, my hands decided to do a Halloween chibi.
I've been wanting to do like an Inktober kind of thing. I just can't find one that I like.
Nice.
Well, I'm doing Pranktober. DJ Kaufman's Drawer Die Club one. I stay away from Inktober because the dude who made it and trademarked it and all that.
Oh,
Yeah,
And do without that dude.
that guy.
I don't mind, the concept's awesome, but like then he's like, I'm just gonna take it all.
Yeah,
Yep.
Dude,
like come on.
And then he had
You
the
can make
balls
them.
to sue other artists because like
Yeah.
if they didn't give him the stuff. And then he went right back around and plagiarized a whole book. So yeah, I don't do Inktober anymore. Great concept, but nothing official
Dang.
Inktober.
I'm like, dude, you could have just made money. Just make, could have done convention stuff. You could have done, you could have just like, had your own official, like specific kind of notebook and just trademark that, and that's okay. But
Mhm.
like, why take the whole thing? You forget the community you came out of? Not known for the riches. So I need to create another Discord account so I can actually jump in and see what you guys are up to. All I can see is like a watch stream.
Can you not like click on those or?
Well, I can click on them and then I'm out, I think. But let me see. Let's find out. All right, so I can see just me. I went into a Mango stream and I can see just me in the upper left. And Mango's drawing looks like a cat.
Yeah, I started a whole other thing.
So, but if I jump out of there, then I can only.
I was doing something else before.
Oh yeah, you were spending time in wings, aren't you?
Mhm.
I love doing wings, but you're right, they take forever.
Yeah. So many feathers. I need a break. So I'm gonna try and practice Anthro like furry art. See how that goes.
Nice.
Okay.
It's looking
So
good
yeah,
so far.
I can jump into
Thank you.
every individual stream. Sorry. I can jump into individual streams, but I can't like see anybody else if I jump into somebody else's stream.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
same.
And Ryder's doing Happy Furry. No, Happy Furry looking the other way. I think it's great. I gotta jump back. My fingers are too fat to get these little the little icons to jump back and forth. All right, now I'm in Stardust, and it looks like it's loading. Loading. Okay, cool. I see. Looks like an elf girl, or elf boy. I can't tell. Elf girl or boy, or it doesn't matter. An elf person, and they you've got a cracked amulet, and looks like a pearl necklace. Nice.
I don't know if this will sound weird or anything, but Dingo, your voice is so soothing.
What?
Like it's perfect. As soon as I came on and heard your voice, I was like, "Yo, that is the perfect voice if we like decided to do a podcast or something."
Thank you very much.
You're so like I don't know how to explain it. It's just soothing. It's pleasing to mine ears.
I agree.
Oh, thank you. I set off your audio sensory pleasure centers.
Yes.
Well,
Oh my god,
I'm
you
glad
should
that
totally try ASMR.
ASMR.
ASMR. Welcome to my ASMR channel. I did do that with sharpening a knife one time because for me that's my ASMR is the sound of a knife sharpening on a grindstone. The like that. And so I did that. Had my wife film it. It didn't go anywhere, but I liked it.
Nice. I will say I like those types of ASMR videos a lot more than the have y'all came across, by the way, disclaimer, no again, no hate to the people who do this. It's just not my thing. But have y'all come across the ASMR live streams on TikTok where they're like
Oh my god,
brushing
yeah.
over
Yes,
the
they're
mics?
always.
And they're so like some of them are so aggressive. Like I came across one and she was like
Mhm.
snapping in front of the camera like, "Hey, follow me. Follow me. Follow me." And it's just like, can you not? Please? I thought these were supposed to be calming. And the sound of the slime, the ones where they like drop the slime over the mic, those make a weird noise and it like makes my skin crawl. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I think the ones with the snapping are basically people that don't know that they're into BDSM and never tried it. And so they mistakenly decided that it was ASMR they liked.
Wow.
They're just basically the people who are ravers that ended up in a polka concert. And they're like, I like the fast beat, but it's so close. It's so close.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's starting to come together. Or she, I don't know. I don't know what's under there. It's an alien, I'm guessing. It's not a he or she, it's a Gungelzorf. Someone leave?
I think they had to go fix their mic.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool.
Hello, hello. Is that working?
Oh,
Yeah,
look,
Yes.
hi.
Hi.
There we go.
sweet.
Woo.
My
New voice.
headphones are really weird, so.
We got a new voice up in this jig.
Yeah.
How you doing, new voice? Oh, come on.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very excited. It's finally October.
I know, right? I'm like,
Oh,
I'm so happy.
Same. Although I will say I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I love October. October is my favorite month, and Halloween is my favorite holiday. Um, even over my birthday, because some people are like, oh, besides my birthday. Like, nah, I value Halloween over my own birthday. Anyways,
I don't like my
um,
birthday at all.
same. Uh, but I have been so focused on the move because we've been trying to move for the past pretty much year, and we finally signed a lease a few months ago. It's a weird situation. Dingo, you asked earlier if we had finished moving in. You might be thinking of. I did release a video a couple months ago saying that we finally signed a lease. We're moving in with a friend of mine, and my friend has already moved into the place. We can't move until our lease is up here, so
Got
we are staying this last month and then moving at the end of October. But
it.
I'm sorry.
That was probably what was in my head because I remember you talking about moving a while back.
Yeah, yeah, we've been trying for a while.
Mhm.
Um, but we finally got it. But I've been so focused on the move that when it like a few weeks ago, I was like, ugh, it's finally October, we can move, and I honestly forgot Halloween even existed.
Gasp.
I know, I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
See, I thought I was going to forget about it, so I shopped for my costume like 2 months ago, and I have everything, and now I'm like dying to find an excuse to wear it.
Just wear it all the time. All the time is spooky season.
See, I would, but it's so many layers, and it's 97 degrees outside.
Oh wow, it's hot.
So, yeah, it's a little warm.
Well, you should move to the Midwest because we drop real fast around Halloween. It was like 47 the other night.
Oh my god, no. The
I
coldest
miss.
it ever gets is like 50, and that's like dead of winter.
Man, I miss winter and like winter is my favorite season. We don't get winter in Florida. I wish it was 40 degrees.
We drop down to, in the winter, we drop down to around negative 30 degrees with the wind chill.
Oh,
Negative 30. Okay, wait,
Negative,
it's a little different.
negative 30. Yeah.
The worst I've done is like negative like 10.
dude, the worst I've done is like 30 degrees. The positives.
Well, if you ever go to like Minneapolis, you'll see that they have like this whole underground infrastructure and all these like basically, and we have them too downtown in Des Moines. I'm in Ames. Um, these like they look like those little tunnels that gerbils and hamsters have to go back and forth around the cage. They have
Mm-hmm.
those. They have those in between buildings, so that you don't actually have to go outside because it's so cold.
Oh, yeah. When I went to Georgia, they had those there.
And Georgia gets nowhere near as cold.
I might have missed it, but where did you say you were, Dingo?
I'm in Ames, Iowa, right now. I grew up where you are. I grew up in Texas. Actually, I grew up in a couple places, but Texas was the one from like 2 to 15.
Gotcha.
I was in Dallas, and my wife and I were about 11, 12 years ago. We were in Austin.
I
Yeah, I was
have
good.
moved around every year to 2 years, almost my whole life. Spent most of it here in Texas. I was born in Florida, moved here when I was 4, I think, and then
Army burned.
and now we're moving to Wisconsin. So
Well, you will find better mental health care in Wisconsin than you will in Texas. I can tell you that much.
it's what I'm
Texas is
hoping.
not good for
I really appreciate my the friend that I'm moving in with. The main reason that we're moving to Wisconsin out of all of the states is
Mhm.
one of my best friends, Rowan, he not to like be not to seek pity, but I had an ex a while back who absolutely destroyed my credit. Like I was part of the problem that we had trying to find a house was that my credit is in the very low 300s, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah, it's bad. I was young and dumb and made some decisions and said yes to some things that I really shouldn't have. And my ex completely screwed me over as far as credit goes. So my friend there, she's or he's offered to do some things to help, and he's going to help me like get a car. He's gonna help me learn how to drive. Finally, 24, don't know how to drive. um, and he's helping me with a bunch of stuff. So I'm really excited for this move.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
By the way, if it's not student loans, you can claim bankruptcy. You have a bad 7 years, and then you're good again.
I mean, I haven't quite reached bankruptcy just yet. I've been making just enough to survive off of my art and various jobs that I've had over the years. The problem is the biggest hit to my credit right now is Sprint. Hashtag not sponsored. uh, by the way, really quick, Stardust, your stream is off.
Oh, oops, forgot that.
Yeah, just wanted to let you know. But it's with Sprint. So the first ex that I moved in with, like right after I turned 18, which was already a bad idea, honestly. He, long story short, his credit was already screwed up, and when I got my first phone off of my parents' line, it was with Verizon, or not Verizon, Sprint, and he was like, "Hey, babe, I can't get a phone because my credit sucks. So can I put my phone on your plan, on your social?" And I was like, "Sure, my love, I'll do anything. I don't see anything wrong with this at all." And then his phone turned into his phone, his mom's phone, his ex's phone, his best friend's phone, his backup phone, like a bunch of different phones on my credit. And a bunch of shit happened at once that I don't want to go into quite at this moment. But I ended up moving out, and he stopped paying the bill long before I knew it because everything, like all the updates and stuff, were set up to his email and stuff like that. Like I would get texts every now and then being like, "Hey, your bill is ready to go." But that's about it. Um, he was in charge of paying for the majority of it. Um, and he stopped paying and just didn't let me know until I ended up moving out and changing my address and getting a bill for $700 for the past few months. And when I tried calling them, being like, "Hey, I can't pay this right now. You just turn off the account." They were like, "Oh, we can't make any changes to the account until you pay off the back due." And I was like, "Okay, but I can't, and I don't want it to rack up. So can you turn it off?" "Sorry, we can't make any changes until you pay at least what's owed." So it's just been slowly accumulating uh monthly bills. I don't know when it cut off, finally, but last time I checked I was 4,000 in the hole with them. So I can't quite do anything about that right this moment. And it sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Hmm.
I know that my wife and I did this a few years back when we were in Vegas, and we accumulated something like $10,000 or $12,000 of credit card debt, I believe.
Yeesh.
Because we couldn't afford our bills, we just had to do it off of credit for the most part. And we got to a point where we couldn't make the minimum, so we just stopped paying altogether. And we read up on the laws on it. And basically, what happens if you sit on it for about 2 years thereabouts, they'll throw it off to a collecting agency who's already bought on pennies on the dollar, and then they have to offer you, I think it's like 15% of the full thing to pay off, and then we just waited them out and then paid them off, and then within 2 years our credit went back up, and then we weren't able to afford my student loans and hers, so we decided that what we can do is we can protect one credit and destroy the other. So we protected her credit and got her up to around 800, and I'm sitting at around, I think, between 500 and 600. It's not too bad because every now and then Navient will be like, he still owes us, but I just put them on forbearance. Basically, I'll keep doing that until I die or I'm rich, and we're paying hers off, so therefore we're able to protect one credit while letting the other one kind of dwindle.
Nice. That's
But it
good.
allows
You're
her to
at
actually get
least able
stuff.
to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say check. You may want to do a reference with sit down with the lawyer, because a lot of times they can get you to a point where you can do like a payment plan or something that's actually feasible. And it sounds like what they did with the not changing your billing, that's an illegal thing to do. So you can probably get a lot of that dismissed. But consultations are free.
Sweet.
I'm surprised they kept it going, because I know when no one could pay the phone bill on my phone, they just shut it off immediately. Like the day no one paid it, it was gone. Until you paid it and turned it back on again. But I don't know.
That's the
Yeah,
illegal part.
I don't understand why or how it all happened. All I know is I was very confused on a lot of stuff. Tried my best to get it all shut down, and I just kept getting the same answer of, "Sorry, we can't do anything until you pay it off." Like, you'd think that would be the default, is if you can't pay for something, stop getting the thing. But it is what it is, I guess. It be what it be, as the kids say nowadays. I am chaotic, I swear.
That's true. They all say that. No cap, sir.
No cap.
On God.
On that. She.
I don't know if I'm like actually that old, or if kids these days just make me feel that old, because there's a lot of like internet stuff that I'm on the internet a lot, and there's still a lot of internet stuff that I just don't understand. Like, I'm only 24. I don't why do kids make me feel like I'm 50? I don't understand.
It'll happen a few times. It's happening a lot faster now because it used to be you had I remember back before cable. You used to have like 13 channels, right? And then everybody watched basically the same thing. I mean, you're 1 in 13 to know what was going on, right? It's like based on entertainment.
Mhm.
And then cable came along, and now it's you're 1 in 100 to 1 to 200 on knowing what's happening, like, or what the zeitgeist is, what everyone's into. And now you're 1 in a couple million, and it depends on the region too. So like people laugh differently in text depending on the region. Like, if it's Brazil, it's ja 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 or ka ka ka. And but if you were in like World of Warcraft for a couple of years, then you would do kek kek kek.
Or
So like,
now.
yeah, exactly. There's a lot of there's a lot of different lingos based on different regions of the internet, not just like, social things. So like, there's a whole memosphere that you're never going to know about. Like if you weren't into, say, My Little Pony and Steven's Universe between 2015 and 17, because everything changed after that. You know what I mean? So there's no way to catch up. You just have to find your clique, your group that you've all watched or seen the same kind of stuff. Stick with it. Because I watched it. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say what's funny about that particular comment is I didn't grow up with cable TV, and I didn't actually have like access to the internet until after I moved out, so I missed out on a lot of things as it was coming out. And my boyfriend and I are admittedly watching both My Little Pony and Steven Universe right now.
Good shows.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just too many. There's too many things to. I mean, I'm a gamer, and there's a whole set of games that I didn't get into, um, that I don't know the lingo for, and that's on top of all the other stuff that's happened over the years. Like, for instance, when I think back to my childhood, I can think of a single like news story, for instance, that was on every single night for weeks, and that was the Iran hostage situation back under like Jimmy Carter.
Mhm.
If you ask someone like now, like within just a couple year span, they have so many other things that they're aware of. Like there were a whole bunch of things happening when I was a kid, but we weren't aware of it because it wasn't on a whole bunch of different uh, uh, things. Like, for instance, uh, Gamergate happened at the same time as Weinstein was like right before the Me Too movement, which happened right before the Egyptian revolution, which happened. You know what I mean? Like all of that happened all at once.
Mhm.
But you can only really lock into one, maybe two. But and then we all got the only thing that I think anybody's had common, like in the past decade or so, has been the pandemic, and now we actually have one thing we can all talk about and know what we're talking about. It's just so splintered.
Yeah, the pandemic has really uh, fluffed everyone about. It's real irritating. Like I know I will never claim to like have it the worst or anything like that. But it COVID really messed up a big thing in my life. Like I said, I was trying to get therapy for one of the goals was to get started on my gender affirming stuff, so T shots and top surgery and stuff like that. Um, I have been this close one other time. I was talking to a doctor. I was about to start talking to a therapist, and I literally the order for my first prescription of T shots was ready to go. It just had to be signed. The only problem was I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to afford the shots monthly. And if you don't know that much about T shots, you might not know that um, if you start on T or any kind of hormones or anything, and then you stop it and then keep going, like that's way not healthy for your body. That'll mess you up. So I was like, I don't know if I should do this because I don't know if I'll be able to afford it in a few months. Let me think about it. I took 3 days to think about it and finally came to the conclusion, worked out the math, and said yes. I was going to say yes. Called up my doctor, said yes, COVID hit. This was May of 22. All of the shops were closed, or not the shops, but the pharmacies were closed. The therapist wasn't taking any more new patients. I couldn't come in for like basic blood work and stuff like that to get done unless it was an absolute emergency. So everything just shut down basically, and I couldn't get it. 3 days.
Yeah, that sucks.
I was so close. So close. It
Yeah, I'll get that.
still irritates me. Like if I hadn't have hesitated, I might actually sound like a dude and look like a dude right now, and it pisses me off.
On the other hand, you may have had interrupted supply during that time and done exactly what you were afraid of, even if you had the money.
I suppose. Silver lining, I guess.
The pandemic screwed my youngest up real bad. He got suicidal. We had to pull him out of school. He was like a real happy-go-lucky kid, and then like just it was obvious like how quick the changes came. I feel, and I've seen it happen because I work, I work as a night custodian. So I've seen it happen with a lot of kids. Like this generation, every single one of them started trauma. Every one of them, on top of whatever else they were normally. And I'm like, oh crap, this is going to be a weird pause in time because it's going to take at least one generation to drop that trauma, at least. The entirety of Generation Alpha has had to actually truly understand death by the time they were, in elementary school on a massive scale. Speaking of which, how you guys like my skeleton?
Oh. Here, let me go back to Discord.
Let me go back to it.
Looks amazing. I decided to draw my boyfriend's character as a chibi in a Power Rangers costume.
That's so cute.
I get out. He loves Power Rangers. And unfortunately, that's one of the shows. We keep running into a situation where he'll be like, "Oh my god, I loved blank. I grew up with blank. That was my childhood." And I'll be like, "What is that?" Because again, I didn't grow up with cable, and I didn't have the richest of families, so we basically just watched like movies and like a handful of movies and stuff that my mom had collected. So I watched a lot of older stuff, and then like Blue's Clues and Dora the Explorer. As much as I hated her,
I hated Dora too. Sorry, continue.
no, finally, half the time that I tell people, "Oh, I hated Dora," they're like, "Oh, but she's so adorable." She's not. She's so annoying, and she stares at you with those soulless eyes, and she's a
Oh my god, she irritated me so much. Oh my god, memories.
There's two women on TikTok that do Dora. One of them is very psycho with like, and she like kills people all the time.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
And then there's another one who does Hora the Explorer, who's hilarious, and they actually got together and did like a duo kind of thing.
Nice.
It's cool.
But yeah, I didn't grow up with certain things, and it irritates the hell out of my boyfriend. Cause like what's something recently? it's a lot of like kids shows specifically, like Camp Lazlo for instance is one that like the first time you mentioned it, I was like, what the fuck is that? What is
Camp
Camp
Lazlo.
Lazlo?
I don't even know what that is.
My oldest did a bit. It's like
Camp
teenage,
Lazlo.
like teenagers. If I remember, they were always like at a ball. If it's the same one I think it is.
Oh, wait, never mind. Actually, I do. Like, this looks familiar, but it's not something I watched. Like, compared to others.
Mine were like G-Force, like G.I. Joe, Voltron.
I would watch Beyblade and like Pokemon before school.
No. Ah, you ever just have a sneeze linger? Like you can feel it build up in your nose?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, all the
Yeah.
time.
It is.
That's the worst.
You ever had a yawn you couldn't complete?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So infuriating. Or like another irritating thing along those lines, when you go to like crack your back or crack your knuckles and it like only halfway cracks, it doesn't give you that satisfying pop and the pain just stays.
Yeah.
That's a bad one, yeah.
Our bodies exist just for us to suffer.
Pretty much.
Highlight. So fun.
What is?
You're doing the highlights on the Power Ranger outfit.
Thank you. There we go. One of the childhood shows that I really wish I could have watched was Teen Titans. I watched a lot like right after I moved out, and uh, I wish it was my childhood.
Yeah, I have literally just yesterday my brother was watching Teen Titans because we have the entire series on like DVD because we still have DVDs. And no, yeah, it's fun. I never watched it like back to back in one sitting. I only ever like caught like stray episodes, but like it's fun.
Now, are you talking actual Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go?
Yes, actual Teen Titans. The original. Teen Titans Go massacred the show.
Preach.
Like I'll admit, like yes, I understand it was targeted towards a different demographic, but when we saw that Teen Titans was getting a reboot, this isn't what we expected.
Huzzah.
Giving my guy a buddy.
Wow. He's so cute. I love that.
Thank you.
Realize you're drawing on the wrong layer an hour too late.
Oof.
A tragedy.
I went
One
to
thing-
erase something and oh no. Okay, guess I'm keeping it.
One thing I started doing whenever I do that is I lasso tool whatever it is and I duplicated it out.
Oh, there you go.
I remember when I first started doing digital art, I honestly just would like forget that layers were even a thing. So I would have to stop myself from drawing literally everything on the same layer and being like, man, why is this so difficult?
Remember when I first started drawing and I didn't know layers existed?
Mm-hmm.
So I would just draw everything, and one day I like found out, and I was like, "Oh, this is so much easier!"
Right? Like this changes everything.
You know, in the first
Oh,
version,
being a self-taught digital artist.
Mm-hmm.
in the first two versions of Photoshop, they didn't have layers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
It came on little floppy disks.
I didn't know Photoshop's been around this long.
Mm-hmm. Since 91. Yeah, it's unrecognizable to what it was. Like, it's such a different product now.
There's an artist that I really like that used to do one-layer paintings, and I absolutely love them. They're actually my inspiration for well, part of my inspiration, like why I drove so hard to do my art back in high school.
Mhm.
They're called Natorix. Have y'all heard of them?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
DeviantArt.
I think so. I don't have a DeviantArt, so I don't follow them on there, but they're on YouTube.
I was wondering if that was where they came out of. A lot of indies came out of there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I never hit I never got into DeviantArt and
Neither
that
did I.
community, and that's something like I don't know if I missed out on something there.
It depends who you ask. Honestly, like I'm not the hugest fan of DeviantArt just personally, and I know like a lot of furries and artists especially are like on there, but I've tried it out in the past, and it wasn't really like my type of uh platform, if that makes sense. Plus, the mod team absolutely sucks.
Mhm.
Not gonna lie.
Sure. Because the only thing I really know about DeviantArt is that like they have art and stuff, and I just hear a lot of like there's just like a lot of not safe for work stuff on there.
Yeah, I've heard my fair share of stories.
Like, oh, don't search up Sonic on DeviantArt.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, DeviantArt was Tumblr before Tumblr.
And now
And
people
then,
hate Tumblr.
But the funny thing is LiveJournal was Tumblr before, or Tumblr and DeviantArt before DeviantArt. And then there was what's called a lot of the ones who got fairly well known on DeviantArt went off to ArtStation. So like that's where like you go when you've gone kind of pro.
Mm-hmm.
But DeviantArt's a good place. Like if you're like starting out, and, you're trying to build a community. It's good for that. I don't know if it still is, but it's what it was for.
Cool. I'm terrible with keeping up with posting on social media, all the things I'm doing. Like, I
Oh,
work
same.
pretty often, but I never post.
I've been trying to get better at it. Um, and it's difficult.
Because also, I don't know, I went through, like, I'm trying to see it in a better light, but I did go through a phase where it's just like, man, I'm less enjoying my art and more worried about like how many likes it has and the comments and like just like the algorithm of what's happening. So I'm like, I'll post maybe, but I'm gonna try not to let that dictate me so much. But then also you kind of have to if you want to get your brand out there and have your art be professional. So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it took a while to um get out of that mindset because I too was like constantly stressing about um like whether other people would like my art, and I
Mhm.
was constantly stalking the Twitter analytics thing for a while, and it got me so depressed, and I honestly um like I don't know how much this will help, but I it honestly was my friends that opened up my eyes like, hey, people will like your art or they won't. If you try to please everybody, you won't please anybody, including yourself. So it's like I know that that's a hard mindset to get out of,
Mhm.
but once you like flip the switch from will people like this to I like it, here it is. It like you I have heard it said, like a few people have told me like, oh, you need to be aggressive with your art, and I don't really like I don't like that mindset of like quote aggressive with your art, but honestly, that's the best way I can explain it is like I stopped trying to please everybody. Especially once I hit TikTok, I was constantly like, "Oh, how many likes will this get? How many shares will this get?" But I'm just like, "Hey, I did this thing. Either take it or fuck off." Like like it's been such a load off, honestly. And don't get me wrong, I still like wish that I got more traffic in my lives, and I do wish that I got more views and stuff like that. But if you if you try to pander to everybody, what everybody will like I said, you won't please anything, or you won't please anybody. And
Yeah.
honestly, what I like more about gaining a slow following is I'm friends with a lot of my supporters, like genuine friends. My Discord server um is like it started off as my Writer's Mark fan page basically, and now it's more of a friends hangout. Like you still it's still there's a section for my art, there's a section for other people to post their art, but we also do
Yeah.
other things. We exchange memes and we play games together and we chat and we talk. And I honestly love that so much better than if
Sorry, guys,
I.
to pop in, but I gotta go.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Hope you have a good night.
See ya.
Hasta la pasta.
Hasta la pasta.
I've never heard that before. I love that.
There we go. All right, I think I'm done.
You're done?
Nice.
I
Let me
think
check.
so.
Ooh. I like.
Let me get my stream out of the way really quick so I can show yours.
It's the me, Mario.
Look at that.
It looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you. I gave him a little buddy.
Gosh, me and the boys.
While I've got that hidden really quick, let me just do a sweep of everyone's art, full screen. This is Mingo's lion with peacock feathers, I think.
Yep.
Nice. And then here is mine.
Nice.
This little doodle of my boyfriend.
That little guy. Let's see, where to put my name? I'll put it right about here.
Oh yeah, I need to add my watermark too.
You gotta name it. Better recognize.
I recently redesigned my watermark, and I'm really happy with it.
Nice. I used to back in the day. I'd use watermarks. I just sign it now.
I used to sign it every time, but honestly, it's just a lot easier for me personally to use my watermark stamp.
Cool, cool. Do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
I say, listen, world, I'm not signing shit. You know, you get a watermark. You want to know why? Because I like to make the world wet. Sploosh, bitches. Sploosh.
Sploosh. We I don't know if that's a reference to Archer, but we actually just finished binging Archer.
Mm-hmm.
I love Archer.
I forgot to make my background black in the beginning because I was doing a draw over, and so you can't see anything for like the first 10 seconds. So I'm doing white and white crime drawing. There you go. All right. Cool, cool. Video came out good.
Awesome. So exciting seeing like other artists work and like being here because I've never like done anything like this before with like streaming or at all, and it's just it's nice. You guys are cool.
I love
good art.
watching others work.
Mm-hmm.
I've only done this twice ever. I've streamed to Discord specifically a number of times with other artists, but I've never like done a recording like this before. And I've only streamed like to the public with somebody else twice. Once was with Mir on TikTok. We did a co-live thing, and then once was with one of my other best friends on Picardo a few years ago, because Picardo has a really cool feature where kind of like the co-live, like you can basically buddy up with somebody else's stream, so it shows both of them at the same time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Pretty spiffin'.
Next one is digging a grave. I did this on Google Plus. I think was the first time I did it. I miss Google Plus. I really like that network.
I'm not gonna lie. I was mostly on Google Plus only because that was like the only social media that wasn't blocked by my school. And I mostly followed creepypasta forums on there. Not even gonna lie. I loved creepypasta back in the day. Oh my gosh, I kind of miss it.
Well, it's still on Reddit. I still have creepypasta forums. I remember coming across that on, I think it was Something Awful was the first time I came across creepypasta
Nice.
back in the day. That was back like before they were just starting to make like Slenderman.
Hmm.
Or I like to call him Slenderman. Hello, my name is Slenderman. I'm a nice Jewish boy. I don't eat much, you know. My mom doesn't like it, but you know, it's me, Slenderman. Slenderman Law Firm.
Did you like if you were into it enough, did you have a favorite creepypasta?
Um, I liked what was that one? The one with the it was like a goat skinwalker guy. Oh, I forget his name.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember his name either.
But like you know, he'd join you at a at like a campfire or something, and like he seemed like a normal dude, but you would hear like the goat like as everyone went to sleep, you start to hear the goat scream.
Yeah.
That guy, I like that guy, and I really like Slenderman. I like the whole build up of it. Because like it got real big for a sec. I mean, until that one little girl killed her friend. Um, but in real life, um,
Yeah.
there was like a whole like picture thing that was going on, like where people were starting to Photoshop like really well, and I thought that was kind of cool. And the whole SC thing was kind of cool too. The like the monsters that people were capturing
Yeah.
and
Oh,
SCP.
SCP.
yeah.
I love SCP. Oh my gosh.
This
I
is the reference.
still
That was good.
9. Actually cool.
Yeah, that's the reference I have for this one. I gotta fix
Oh.
this whole thing, whatever that is. But the rest of it, I like. I just really like the grainy look of it. I started do graphic arts, the style, because you can say I want it in a certain style. So like so like give me a prompt for my AI thing because I'm about to create a reference.
Potato Cat.
Potato cat. So I'm gonna do potato cat in a graphic art style. In fact, a dark potato cat.
This should be interesting.
Let's see what it does. What are we gonna do with potato cat? Potato cat, potato cat. Does whatever a potato can. Can it lie on the ground? Yes, it can. It's kind of round. Whoa, here comes a potato
Oh, I love the one on the plate.
cat.
These are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, it just keeps going.
Yeah, we're at 62%.
Ah.
So then we're going. That's one of the things I really like the way it thinks of what a graphic art style is. It's doing like a 90s zine comic.
Kind of reminds
So
me
it's
of the style of. Have y'all seen or played Friendbow?
I've seen it.
friend Bo?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
It's a how would you describe Friendbow? Um
Um,
it's so you follow this girl who's trying to find her cat and her family again while she's dealing with a couple inner demons because she was locked up in a what's it called, an insanity ward, and she's like hyped up on a bunch of drugs, and she keeps like you play through the world by switching from visions of the world as it is and the demonic messed up world. And then it just kind of shows her journey of recovery from that and trying to find her family again. And it's really interesting if you are comfortable with like disturbing images, I guess, because it can get a little dark.
I actually prefer disturbing images. Like this potato cat.
That potato cat, I relate to it on a personal level.
I kind of like this one because it's got like, you know, the actual cat as the shadow of the potato.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's hiding
really
behind
cool.
it. Right? I like that one too because it's made of potato. Okay, let's upgrade this one. Upscale to max and do a beta upscale redo, and then I'll give it like more of a cartoony look. Potato cat, potato cat. Everyone knows just where it's at. Is it there on a plate? Just lies there. Yes, I can relate. Whoa.
I watched that show.
Well, it's the old Spider-Man theme.
Yeah.
All right. So this one's done. And this one is getting there. Here's the beta one. See what it does. It takes out all that graininess, makes it very flat, and it makes it have more of a cartoony feel to it.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
Yeah. Problem is that, like, as you can see, like I was going for iterations, but see, like the eyes are all jacked up, so I'd have to fix those. The ears a little bit off. But I can't go like, hey, you did these. Oh, sorry, you did these things great. So keep those and work on this. You can be just, nah, I do whatever the F I want. Okay. Cool. So we got potato. All right, back to it. This is what's a skeleton warrior. Where's my skeleton? What's it called? Skeleton soul. Yo.
Bestie, why? Sorry, one of my very good friends. They're open for commissions, and their art is way out of my budget, unfortunately. But I want some. I love their style so much, but it's 150 minimum for just a headshot.
Oh my goodness.
Which, don't get me wrong, it is totally worth it. I love their style. They have such a magnificent, beautiful style.
Yeah, it's not a bad
I
price.
just cannot afford it right now.
Pricing in art gets confusing because like you don't want to do it, but then you also don't want to be underselling yourself. And I don't know where to find that line.
So there's a sort of algorithm sort of thing that a friend showed me a couple years ago that really helped me get a base for my prices. Um,
Mhm.
so what you do is, because you're not just charging for the art itself or the time it takes to do the art, you're charging for your skill level and everything as well. So the
Mhm.
way that he worked it out was, and I can write this down a little bit later if you want me to, but
Yeah.
you take however many years you've been doing art, multiply that by 2, take the average amount of time that it takes for you to do an art piece. So, say a headshot takes 5 hours, something like that.
Yeah, what's up?
Multiply that by 10, so you're paid around $10 an hour. Um, Add those two together, and that's a generally good starting base for your prices, and then you can change them, go lower, go higher, depending on your, on your following, whatever you're comfortable charging, etc. So, like, say, like me, for instance, um, I have been doing art for technically my whole life, but been doing quote professional art for 10 years. So that's $20 off the bat. And it takes me about an hour and a half ish to do a
Mhm.
headshot, flat color. So
Mhm.
that's, what is that? 15. So 15 plus 20, 35. $35 for a flat color headshot.
Oh, I've 100% been underselling. Oops.
A
So
lot
the
of
way
artists do. I have been as well, and I just, I'm about to change my prices. I'm closed for commissions right now, because I'm gonna finish up my queue and actually sit down and work out the math for how long it takes me to do pieces, because I kind of just rough estimated, and right now I did the math a couple weeks ago, and I'm paid about $5 an hour for
Oh,
works. So,
are you gonna change your adopts prices?
uh, it depends on the adopt. I'm working through some of them I'm redesigning, and I'm gonna re-release with a higher price, but a lot of them will stay the same price that they are. So if you've got your eye on one, feel free to hit
Mhm.
me up.
I
I
probably
can
will later,
also,
honestly. Because I've been ever since I first followed you on TikTok and then I looked through your adopts page, I'm like, dang it, I don't have any money, but money just hit my account,
nah,
so we'll see.
yeah, definitely hit me up. If you have Twitter, I have like all of my adopts on one thread on Twitter.
Mhm.
Cool.
the way we did it, I was doing graphic art stuff was uh basically take all your supplies, um you multiply what your supplies, the ink, all that kind of stuff is, um times 3, and then you put what you consider a worthwhile hourly rate on top of that. So let's say 120 by 36 fabric banner. So it would cost I think it's $5 or $8 or something for the fabric itself. So let's go with $8. And then for the ink, it was something like $2. So or 10 times that times 3, that's 30, and then it's going to take me about 3 hours to get the file exactly we want, and every revision's an extra hour's work at least. So a banner would be around $120, $130.
Gotcha.
That was like 10 foot by 3 foot, and that's the graphic arts. That's just like it's not. There's not a lot of time spent on it, like on as far as creating the actual art, because what you're doing more than anything is looking for the right font to how to get the message across. But it's not always so much with creating like a real detailed piece.
That's interesting, though. I never considered that type of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of artists undervalue themselves. And like I said, I still do, according to my friends. We are our biggest critics, but a lot of artists also, especially when they're like starting out, they forget that you aren't just charging for a drawing on a screen. You're charging for your time and your effort and your skill. And if you do like physical arts, you're charging for your supplies and everything too, like Dingo said.
Well, you're also, I mean, even for like this, for digital art, you still had to buy the iPad. The software, wasn't free. The and then of course what went into it, like the amount of money you spent on whatever classes you took, whatever books you took, how many hours did you spend creating before you got to a point where you actually create a style for yourself. um in fact, you can charge whatever you want, because remember, it's always going to be a buyer's market as far as that goes. But like there's that one dude who did spray paint, like real cool spray paint stuff, who got basically paid in shares for Facebook because he did the artwork inside the first Facebook offices back when it was nothing, and then now he's like a multimillionaire, um, based on one job. And that kind of thing can come along. Personally, like I'll tend to draw, like if I'm just doing a portrait or something, I charge like $75 for the portrait itself. But say like if I'm gonna do like a movie poster, for instance, and I know there's gonna be at least 3 revisions on it, I'll charge 500 for it. The reason for that is because I don't want to do the movie poster, but I do want to do a portrait, or I do want to do my own art. So I will give you a discount if I don't have to deal with your revisions.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that too. So you have to think about, like, it's kind of like lawyers. They'll do pro bono work, but they know their worth, so they'll say, but normally, I know you're all right. I know you make a decent living or whatever, so I'm going to charge you 300 an hour, which is my normal rate. But I also like to do things for myself where I feel good about it. So for that, I'll do pro bono, or I'll do it in a sliding scale. Psychiatrists and stuff do it too.
Yeah, I get that. I do NSFW works sometimes, but like I'm not super comfortable with it all the time. That sort of stuff, I get in these moods where it just doesn't work for me, if that makes sense. And I don't want to be known as just another smut artist or something like that. So I charge double for NSFW stuff. Like if you really want me to, I will,
Mm-hmm.
but it's gonna cost extra. And unfortunately, I've lost some clients for that. Like I had one full on bitch me out because, oh, why are you charging more for just a couple more strokes on the screen? Like it's not just a couple more strokes. It's my comfortability level. Like I also give like Dingo said, I give certain clients and my friends little discounts. Just if they're uh if I like working with them. a lot of my return clients actually get discounts if they, if it's fun to work with them and if it's smooth sailing and stuff like that. And I, especially if I, this one might be a little biased, but if I really like the character, like there's my adopts. I have this rule where if you buy and adopt from me, then it is a design that I'm comfortable with. It is a design that I already know how to make because I made it. So if you buy and adopt from me, you automatically get 10% off any commission with that adopt. And then even furthermore, there's a specific adopt that I sold recently. I don't know if you'll recognize the name Caden, but the demonoid adopt that I sold recently to someone on Twitter, I I loved that character, and not gonna lie, I kind of regret selling them because I love the design so much and I want to draw them more. So I let the buyer know because she was super sweet to work with. So I let her know like, hey, if you ever want anything else with Caden, because she's using him for story. So it's like if you ever want anything else, let me know. You get 20% off for like anything involving Caden. I love him so much, and it's so much fun to draw him and to work with him. So, like, unfortunately, pricing your art isn't an exact science. It's not an exact math. The formula that I gave and the one that Dingo gave, those are good for getting a base price to work with, but pricing your stuff, valuing your stuff is up to you. It is what you feel it is worth. And that's kind of part of why it's so hard, is because, again, every artist is their own worst critic. And especially me for a while, like speaking from personal experience, I was greatly undervaluing myself because I felt like my art wasn't worth it. And I was doing, like, for instance, last year I did a redesign of a ref sheet that I did about 4 or 5 years ago. And the ref sheet that I did last year was 200, 180, somewhere around there. But for the same layout, for the same stuff on the ref sheet, when I did it 5 years ago, I priced it at, I think, $40. And granted, my style has changed and has improved a lot since then, but it's just back then I completely undervalued myself. I felt like my art was barely even worth selling at that point. So I priced my stuff next to nothing, and because of that, I was walked all over by by clients who also didn't value my work as much as they should have. But my boyfriend explained to me a number of times throughout the past year that, like, it's a weird psychologic thing as well. If you value your art and you have confidence in your art, then that'll show in your art, and thus more people will have confidence and have see value in you and your art.
So remember, there's one thing that's really important too, is you want to price assholes in. You want them not to be near you. So if you get those people, your art's too expensive, you're like, yes, exactly. It's supposed to be too expensive for you. You want clients that not only respect the fact that they're buying art, but the fact that they're buying your time and that they're asking for something specific from somebody who's very skilled in that thing. So if you can't respect what your own prices, if you can't show that you're worth something, and respect is one of those things, then you will be treated as if you are worth free, but you're begging. But if you say, I demand this for this because I know my skill is good enough, and you can screw off if you don't like it because I don't need you. That confidence alone will get you the prices that you request.
Okay. Yeah, this all makes a lot of sense. A lot of things I hadn't even thought about. Like this commission, I don't know if you can see my screen right now, this one that I'm doing right now, it's for a ref sheet for for a friend of mine. And obviously it's not finished, there's a lot more that needs to be done. But I'm only charging her $60 for this. And I was thinking that even that would be too much.
Let me take a look at this. Hang on.
Here, let me turn on some of my layers.
Oh, for that, yeah, you're definitely undercharging.
What else
Yeah.
are you gonna add to it?
Well, the person here, where are my notes? I'm adding another back view. Like I'm gonna copy paste this so that I can show the wings being closed, like actually on her. And then there's like just a close up of her ear because she had some detailed jewelry on it.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
So how many hours is that taking you?
How long has this taken me so far? A while. I don't know how. Just off and on. It's been a couple days I've been working on this so far.
You put more or less than 10 hours into it?
Probably 10 hours.
So you told your client that you're worth $6 an hour, period. And every minute you work from this point on, you're losing more money.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's understandable. I mean, we've all done it because you don't know your own worth. But if that client comes back and says they want revisions, like I want the wings to be slightly different color, or I want the feathers to be more spread out,
Yeah.
and you have to go back in and do stuff to it. That takes away too. So remember to keep in mind that you want to put revision stuff in your contract. So put in like, everything past one revision is an extra like half the price of the artwork itself.
Okay. I definitely like going forward in the future will keep this in mind because okay.
Just for an extra note, go back to it really quick.
Oh yeah, sure.
Now this is a personal opinion. Just for what you have on screen right now, the two full bodies,
Yeah.
the headshot, with the shade and the detail and everything. Not gonna lie, if I like, assuming I had the money for it, because God, I wish I did. But I personally, with this amount of detail and with everything on the screen, ooh, what was that?
Oh,
that's the jewelry. She's the jewelry in the chest piece.
Yeah, with all of that, I would honestly get that for at least double that price just for what you have on screen now. Not even gonna lie. Like 120, maybe even 150 at least.
Yeah, it's a high detail piece.
Yeah, you are way underselling yourself.
Oh, jeez.
Look, here, I want to say something. Let's go way back to this one. Sorry, it's taking me a little bit. I think I did this back like 4 or 5 years ago.
So, like I said, while he's looking for that, I undervalue my art, and I'm changing my prices here shortly. But for my current prices, this once it loads, this piece that I just did, which is 2 characters with a full scene and everything, was ended up being 190, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Once it loads. Load. Clip Studio, please.
Come on, you can do it, Clip.
I promise I'll be nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not really, but
That stuff is very deep.
there we go. So for this piece,
So reduce this one. Ooh.
this piece was 190. And
Mhm.
honestly, I think you have more detail in your piece than I do.
The energy though, and the dynamic poses.
Thank you. By the way, just let me know I have something to upload later.
You said you ended the recording?
No, I was letting my boyfriend know. My boyfriend woke up
Oh.
and was walking around and stuff. So I was just letting him know, like, hey, if you speak, you are being recorded.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Alrighty. Yeah, that really like seeing the art and like knowing how much you press that really puts things into like perspective.
Let's see. I have to look something up real quick.
Cause here, let me see if I can pull up stuff. Not
Yeah. Talk it up.
To help even a little bit more, here is like to compare it to another ref sheet, like an actual ref sheet that I did, which
Mhm.
has a few things different, but it's also 2 full bodies, actually 3 technically, and then some close-ups of stuff.
It's so pretty.
Thank you. This one was priced at... Have to go find the original order to see what I priced them at.
Just me.
All right. So
It's rude. Sir.
So this is a thing I did for somebody who had it was a Facebook banner thing. Didn't take me that long. I did 2 revisions on it, and the whole thing took me about an hour and a half. And it was this was $100. And all he wanted was something. He wanted something that had like a wasteland look to it. And a little cartoony, and he wanted some desert, and so and a little bit of Latin base with orange and blue being the main colors. And that was it. It was $100. Took me an hour and a half. This one, some like TikTok stuff. I was drawing people, and then I would just sell them the print. And like some people picked up prints, and I got a whole bunch of $15 things for that. But there was one semi-recently. Trying to find it. But I did a movie poster that I didn't want to do. And it had multiple characters in it, and it's not like super highly detailed. It was in the middle of my post-apocalyptic stuff. Where are you, buddy? Sorry, too much stuff.
It's fine.
There it is. Okay. I did it in a couple ways, but this is it. So it was a little short film called The Interests, and Mackenzie Barman, she was in it. So it was the dude who directed this little short, and he wanted a poster set up. So I did a couple iterations for it, but this was $500 for this.
Wow.
And the reason it's $500 is because iteration, constantly. So I'm not, for this, I wasn't, like, if I just charged for the picture, like, one and done, here you go, I would have charged like 100, maybe $200 for tops. But the fact that he kept wanting more stuff, I was like, all right, well, we're going to bring the price up. So the more I don't want to do something, the more price I'll put on it, and more often than not, people go for it. Because they know they're being picky. But if you can get them to stop, that's also like somebody that you don't want as a client.
Exactly.
You don't want you want people that are going to be nickel and diming you, because you're not at a bargain bin. You're creating custom stuff. Like, for instance, my mom did haute couture clothing, which is basically a custom fashion and like she would charge upwards of $10,000 for a dress sometimes, because it took her hours and hours. But it's also, she had a name, like she was known. So YouTube, my wife put up a video which was nice of my mom's stuff. So she did an ad campaign. It was basically like a tampon ad campaign. They do those things where it's like like playing tennis because you want to be out there, swimming and playing tennis when you're bleeding. I know that all women love that.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. So my wife put together a thing from this. So that was my mom. And she had a series called Babo Originals. But I just want to put this up because this particular ad campaign happened in the late 50s, early 60s. She made all these dresses. They were each one of these dresses was between $2,000 to $8,000 in late 1950s, early 1960s money. So it'd be like what, 30,000 now, 40,000. So these were all dresses that she did for this particular ad campaign, and she was paid even at that time she was paid a flat rate of I think it was 12,000 for the whole campaign. So anyway, like that is where, like, this would take her something around about 14 hours or so, 15 hours to do this kind of dress. So if she could get that back then, you can definitely up your prices now. And it's the same thing. It's just, it's art on demand is what haute couture basically is. Culture on demand. Oh, here, wings. I was looking for wing stuff. So she didn't buy this because I wasn't selling to her, but see, the wings took me a little while. This I would have sold for around 125, 130 because of the amount of detail.
Really quick. You said you didn't want the recording to be too long. We just hit 2 hours.
Okay. Well, you tell me where you want to stop because I have a feeling you may want me to take some stuff out. We'll see.
I think
This
for
almost-
this first run, we should stop it around now, and then we will see how it goes and maybe do longer ones later.
Okay.
Sweet. Well then, ending outro, I guess. Thank y'all for watching / listening. Hope you enjoyed the art today in the chats and such. Again, I am Damien Ryder of Writer's Mark. You guys.
I'm Dingo.
Mango. And they are Mango of Mediocre Mango.
I'm Stardust or Jinx, and thanks for coming.
Yeah, hope to catch y'all next time.